Greetings, Lux lovers. Welcome or welcome back. Here we believe in intentional luxury and we're not afraid to invest in pieces that will work for us. So if that resonates with you, then please consider subscribing and stay a while. Well, today we're going to explore a different facet of luxury away from material goods and get into the realm of luxury experiences. And I just wanted to share that while I'm preparing for a new transition in my life, I would 100% recommend this luxury getaway that I just came back from. And really, it's for anyone who's going through a transition, burnout, looking for their life's purpose, or just someone needing to unplug for a little bit. I'll share my experiences, the highs and the lows, and at the end, I'll share the things that I picked up to remember the trip by. So grab that fancy Hermes mug of tea and let's begin. So I'll start by saying that I went to a resort called Miraval, and there's actually 3 locations in the US, and they're currently building one, I think, by the Dead Sea. They have locations in Arizona, Austin, Texas, and the newest one is in Lenox, Massachusetts in the Berkshires. And so my recent trip, I went to the Miraval Berkshires, and so now I've been to all 3 of them in the US, and each one has really their own special flavor, but what draws me back to the Miraval kind of essence is a restful balance of mind, body, and spirit programming and also unique experiences. Since I started going, I think Miraval was actually taken over by Hyatt. So if you're a Hyatt loyalty member, you can certainly use points or gain points. But to me, this is a way that I treat myself in between, say, large career moves where I can go unplug for a few days and really just do some introspection or some inner work. And so many of you might not know that I do have a bit of a metaphysical side to myself, which I don't always nurture a whole lot, but when I go away, I'm thankful to have a kind of support system where I can go away for 3 to 4 days on my own and really just immerse myself in the programming. So I don't really have a whole lot planned, but I am so happy to share what I did. Here is just a quick example, but this is like the full itinerary, and this is just a sampling of the itinerary that I had. But basically, it's almost like, I call it like going to Hogwarts, where you sign up for all of your classes and you can book with a live person, or you can just go online and use kind of the class list and schedule online. But I just kind of bought the all-in-one package where you just can take any of the fee classes. And I feel like that really freed me up from having to overthink. The nice thing about Miraval is that it is an all-inclusive. So they do give you a credit, and that resort credit can go towards private classes, or it can go towards the spa, which is one of the highlights of staying at a Miraval. But the classes, for example, I really leaned into the outdoorsy type adventure type classes. So while you might want to feed a different side of yourself, I really wanted to do the nature focused classes. You know, getting to the Berkshires can be a bit tricky, so I was able to take a train from New York Penn Station to Hudson Station, and then a car got me. Now they offer free shuttles to and from that Hudson Station. And on the first day I did falconry, and you're just like in the woods, and the falcon will basically use his eagle eyesight to swoop down and pick the meat off of the glove. But these falcons can basically see anything rustling into the leaves. Food is included unless it's like alcoholic drinks, but I'm not a real drinker, so that didn't matter. You basically have like a walk-up snack station where you can get coffees and drinks and grab-and-go snacks and smoothies and juices all day long. So that's fantastic. And there was this one drink, I'll show it here, it was the golden milk. This thing was delicious, and I could have had this 24/7. In fact, I probably did. It was so good. And it was a turmeric-based drink. In fact, I want to see if I can make some today. The next day, I did chicken keeping. I got to go onto the farm and look at the chickens. And these chickens were just laying eggs left and right. So here is a picture of some fresh eggs that were still hot in my hand, and that was such a fun experience. Chickens are fairly easy to keep, so the thought in my head did occur to me that we could possibly keep chickens. But I don't know. Let me know if any of you out there keep chickens and how you like it. Here was another class where I was able to learn about smoke cleansing. It's also known as smudging, but we made our own bundle of herbs for energy cleansing, and that was really, really beautiful. So I really like that practice and would like to do more of that. Here is a picture of my experience doing the hatchet throwing. And if you look at these hatchets, they're pretty serious, but they really went into this class, teaching you safety first, of course, but really having it mean something and having an intention around the hatchets that you're throwing. So that was really fun. I did an outdoor archery class. The one I really loved was this sensory silk cocoon meditation, where you basically kind of wrap yourself in the yoga silks and then you're suspended in air, and they put noise canceling headphones on you and you just have a guided meditation for a full hour. How awesome does that sound? Astrology for radical self-care. That was a great class because I learned about my moon sign, and it's almost as important as your sun sign, but the sun sign is the thing that gets a lot of attention. I had a 50-minute relaxation massage on the Thursday I was there, and the next day I had a 50-minute facial at night. That was a fantastic experience. Another one of my favorites was learning about how to use and hone in on your intuition. There was a crystal bowl sound session, and also capturing my aura on photography. Here is a picture of the beautiful grounds, and what I really like about this particular Miraval is that you have the seasons in New England, and so the programming does change by season. So I would love to go back in the summer. I would love to go back in the spring, because it's all going to be different. The thing that I wanted to do that wasn't on deck was kayaking and beekeeping, because it just wasn't in season, but I would 100% go back. I was in one of the beautiful carriage houses, which is more of like a standalone apartment, and it was just so relaxing. Here's a picture of the fire that I created with my bare hands, and I was super proud. And everything really has a metaphor, and they really push you to look at the metaphor in what you're doing, because it is such an intentional type of place. The restaurant is included, so for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can have a sit-down meal, and it's really smaller portions, and you can get as much as you like, kind of like a cruise, but it's wholesome food. A lot of it is farmed straight from the property, and you can see an example of, I think this was a chili. I think that's with the kimchi pancakes. They were so good. And then every night I had a cheese plate, and then here I had the lemon poppy seed ice cream with a chocolate truffle. It's actually the type of place where they really, really prefer that you not have digital devices around. So I didn't take as many pictures as I really would have liked to, because I would have liked to bring you in on all my activities. Here's a picture of the spa, and I didn't get, a lot of pictures, but it was truly serene, and you could just, as a guest, stay in there all day if you didn't have any spa appointments. Still definitely worth it. They had beautiful art on the walls for purchase. That might just be for October, I'm not sure. And then on the last day, I took a pottery class. It was called The Beauty of Imperfection. It was in the pottery studio, where we took a ceramic bowl, actually took a hammer to it and smashed the bowl, and then we glued it together and we traced along the cracks in gold. And this is a practice called kintsugi, which is a Japanese practice. And in fact, I'll show you my little bowl here. But how beautiful is that, where it's really getting at letting go of the imperfections in life and really just lining it with gold and celebrating kind of the cracks that might come into your life. So this was super calming, and I love this, and kintsugi will definitely come up again in this channel. So let's talk a little bit about the things that I got, because I know if you're like me, you always like to remember things through little souvenirs. One of my favorites was this mug, and I really enjoyed this because it kind of looked like a Starbucks mug with a little mouthpiece there, but it has this beautiful texture. Actually, I bought this because I didn't have enough outerwear. This is from a brand called Varley, and this should totally be in my Instagram maybe buy it video, because I've seen Varley like all over Instagram, but I was actually able to kind of touch and feel, and I just love cowl necklines like this. So I am about to buy a million more of these because it is so comfortable, and I think it's very flattering. As part of my experience, I bought a new mini deck. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. So this is a famous beginner deck that has very easy imagery to use. So I liked the fact that these would be very easy to learn and easy to travel with. When I came home, I actually bought this herbal cleansing kit. It's a smudging kit. It's an abalone shell with a stand and some white sage, and the smell is just so good, and I'm really trying to hone in on the practice of herbal cleansing, so I really like this. I'll link this below. I got this on Amazon when I came back. And in fact, anything else that I had or used while there that I can find on Amazon, I'll try to put it below. And then at the spa, I bought this awesome neck pillow, and I love the fact that you can microwave it and then put it on your neck all hot so that you can really relax the muscles. And also from the spa shop, I bought this. This is a new eye pillow. I actually just threw out the old eye pillow I had for years and replaced it with this. It's super fuzzy and it's just so comfortable, and the cover is washable, which I love. So that's really it. I wanted to just share that experience and my thoughts. I'm doing a lot of reflecting, which is great. I'm not going all zen and like shedding my luxury goods. I still love luxury goods, but I think it just reinforces my mindset of being very intentional with everything that I own as I go into this new chapter. So thank you to those who've stayed with me to the end. Let us know in the comments if you've ever been to Miraval and what you thought. I welcome you to follow me on Instagram if you'd like to see more of how I use these items in my day-to-day and other luxury moments. If you've enjoyed this video, I invite you to go down the rabbit hole that is my luxury chit chat playlist, and I'll put that link here. Please like it if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!